All right, you guys, welcome back into another One Piece video. That is right, we survived another break week. So, since chapter 1158 spoilers are right around the corner, it's like 3 days away, it is time to make some predictions on what we could see in this upcoming chapter. Of course, always gotta say this, gotta preface it like this, but this is all fun and games, right? We're not trying to get a perfect bingo. It would be nice if we did, but I highly doubt it. You know, my highest score so far on this bingo prediction list is 2 out of 9, so hopefully we can at least just beat that score. That is what I'm aiming for. So, with that being said, before we make our predictions on the upcoming chapter, it's time to go back to the previous week and see how on the money we actually were. So, let me just scoot over here. Right here, these are my 1157 predictions, and man, was I off the mark. Okay, so let me get the red marker. Is that a good color for this? No, let's do like purple or something. Yeah, purple stands out more with this. So my first prediction was that Roger would fight Rocks, and I was confident. You see this? I put 90% chance on that one. Brother, I was off. No. This did not happen. So let's put an X right there. It's kind of small. Can we make that a little bit bigger? Yeah, there we go. X. We did not get that. Next one is that I said we would get Rock's crew attacks, which, if I was a stickler, I could say that we actually got this, right? One of them being Whitebeard, and then the other one would be Shiki dropping the bomb. But, you know, I'm going to be hard on myself. I'm going to say we did not get this either. Next up, King Harald talking about the Elbaph Devil Fruit. That did not happen. Wow, we're getting a lot of these wrong. But here, now this is where we start winning. The Treasure of Beehive. We did get this. Yes, we did get the reveal that Shaki was that gal. So yeah, Treasure of Beehive, that is a big W. Next up, I said Gloriosa would join Rocks, and I was really confident in this one. You see this? 100% chance. Yeah, Gloriosa did join the crew. Next up, I said we would see how Rocks got all of his lore. Did not get that. And now for the bottom row, the first one says God Valley. We did not get that. We're building up to God Valley, but we didn't get God Valley, so that's a no. Next up, Kong, Sengoku, and Suru. We actually got this. We have 3 characters listed here, and we got all 3 of them. That's pretty big. Oh man, I almost want to give this like a ×2 multiplier, but I'm not going to do that. So here we have it. We broke the high score. We have an official 3 out of 9. Next up, I did say we would see new God Knights, but alas, that did not happen. 3 out of 9, that's not bad, actually. Let me save this image. All right, so now, time to get into 1158 predictions. My first one is that King Harald will agree to the Gorosei. Yes, you know, tough day, a bad day for Rain, whatever you want to call it. But I do think that King Harald will betray his friend for the WG. I mean, you gotta imagine, right? Having Elbaph become an allied nation is what King Harald has been working towards for like the past 20 years. That is what he's always wanted. Actually, you could say even more than 20 years. He's always been building up to this. He wants Elbaph to have a guaranteed bright future. So yeah, I think he will end up betraying Rocks. Will he go through with it? Will he actually try to kill Rocks? I don't know. But I think he will tell the Gorosei yes. So yeah, while it is sad to say, I do think that Harald will take the bait here. Next up, I think this is very unplausible. I'll say that right now. I think the chance of this happening is very, very, very low. But ever since somebody in the comment section mentioned this, I see it now. I think it was in the full spoiler review or the post-game video, but somebody said, hey, Sai, look at the final page of 1157 and look closely at the Gorosei members, right? You have Warakuri doing this, you have Mars standing up, you have like Venus, you know, hunched over with his sword, and then you have Saturn with his beard poking out, eating some sausages. And then as far as like the character that's supposed to be Jupiter, they're kind of hunched over in a really odd manner, and Jupiter typically doesn't do that. Of course, the panel they're referring to is very zoomed out, and it's like a very minute detail, so I don't know if that's actually the case or not. I don't know if that's like what Oda was going for, or if that's just how the panel ends up looking, because obviously that's not a focus. But yeah, somebody said that we could get a new Gorosei member, and that could explain why Jupiter, current day, looks like the youngest Gorosei member. Maybe they're just recently promoted. So I really enjoy that theory. Like I said, the chances of this happening are very low, but it is a theory that I like. So I'm throwing that up there. And like I said, right, for bingo, while we do try to go for like easier ones every now and then, I do like playing hardball with some of these, right? We're not trying to go for like a perfect score. It'd be cool if we did, but you know, it's not always going to be possible. Next up, for this square, I'm going to say that Shaki gets kidnapped. Yeah, that is right. Not a hard guess. This is canon, so this will happen. But I do think it will happen next chapter. We will see Shaki get kidnapped. And if I wanted to go farther, I'll say GK for God Knight. I think a God Knight will come to Hachinosu and snatch her. That's like the only person that could really snatch her if you think about it, right? It's either they send a God Knight or they send an Admiral. Or CP0, right? CP0 is an odd one, but they are all about espionage, and, you know, they typically kidnap people for the WG anyways. Like last chapter, we saw Cypherpole try to kidnap people from an allied nation of Harald. So, yeah, it could be Cypherpole, could be God Knight, could be Marine. But let me be a stickler. Let me just put God Knight or Cypherpole. If it's a Marine, this doesn't count. You know, I'm going to play hardball with that one, too. Next up, I think that if we do see the God Knights, we will get a new God Knight. Brother, there are a lot of these guys. In God Valley, if you count all of them out on that platform alongside the Devil Fruits or the treasure chests, you will actually end up with 11 silhouettes. 11. And those characters might not even be the God Knights of today, because this is, what, 38 years ago? 42 years ago. So yeah, I do think there is a lot of room for a new God Knight to be introduced, one that we have not seen before. While I would love to see, you know, Garling, Saint Somers, or Killingham, or Gunko again, I would rather just enjoy a new God Knight entirely. So next up, I'm going to say that the Legendary, this is kind of a repeat from last week, but I do think we will get a Legendary Devil Fruit mention. And if I had to get specific, I'll say that this is going to be the one that is located in Elbaph. I mean, Harald knows about it, right? He's the one who's currently passing it down to Loki and Hyrden. So yeah, maybe he mentions it, maybe Rock says something about it, and we get some hints towards what it is, right? I think it's about time, right? By the end of this flashback, we will know what this is for sure. So I wouldn't be surprised if Oda drops a little hint for us. Doesn't have to tell us what it is, but just a little hint at what it's capable of, right? Like, oh, that Devil Fruit could take down nations, or, ooh, this Devil Fruit is Elbaph's treasure, right? My grandfather told me stories about this one, or, ooh, somebody tried to eat it in the past. Literally anything. Anything in this space will be marked for me. So next up, my last prediction is that Roger reacts, okay, let me capitalize that, reacts to Hachi, oh my god, it's not gonna fit. Oh yeah, I did Beehive last time, right? Yeah, I did Beehive. There we go. Roger reacts to Beehive. So this is very broad, but because this is the era of Roger, Rox, and Garp, I think it is only appropriate that Roger reacts to something Rox D Xebec related, which is why I put Beehive, right? Because that could be a Rox reaction, that could be a Shaki reaction, a Gloriosa reaction, just Roger saying something about this guy. Because right now, we don't know what the relationship is like. I mean, hell, even the Rox and Garp relationship is really weird. Because it sounded like they had like a deep conversation about how they don't like higher-ups while they're fighting, maybe? So that was odd. But yeah, I would just love to see some of these key figures talk about each other. So yeah, Roger reacting to anything Beehive Hachinosu related, I think would be really freaking cool. And now, for the last 3 on this week's bingo, I always try to pull up comments and suggestions, and that's what I did this week. So, the first suggestion that I kind of enjoyed said that we could get a Rox plus Roger clash. See, I like this, right? This will eventually happen. Wait, why did I put 2 pluses there? Let's delete this one. Oh, wait. Oh, my God. There we go. No, wait. Oh, it just did that normally. Oh, okay. I was about to say, like, I didn't do that. Oh, it's because I put a plus right here. Oh, now I'm just deleting things I'm not supposed to. Okay. Rox and Roger clash. Let's just put that. Rox, Roger clash. And I think this is very plausible. I mean, surely they fought, right? I mean, we had the whole thing where like, oh yeah, Harald met Garp off screen, Rox met Garp off screen, Roger clashed with Garp for a second. Like, yeah, surely we're gonna get a Rox and Roger clash before God Valley, right? I doubt God Valley is their first time meeting and fighting. No. I definitely think that they clashed in the past. So I think this would be a great build-up to God Valley, right? And I believe the commenter even went as far to say that this could explain the Roger line where he says, hey, do you know how I felt for the past year when entering God Valley? And what's funny is that initially that's what I thought too. I thought that maybe Rox beat Roger a year prior. But now that we have the Treasure of Hachinosu reveal, I'm kind of leaning more towards the Shaki stuff. Like, oh, maybe Shaki's been captured for the past year, and that's why he felt so pent up. But yeah, I think they're both good options. So yes, Rox and Roger clashing is my pick right there. The second pick from the comment section said that King Harald, this is a leap. This is definitely a leap in time. But they said King Harald would react to Rox's death. I almost want to put a multiplier on this one. You know what? Let's go ahead and do that. ×2. We'll get 2 points if this comes true. And the reason why is because if something is very implausible, I just want to give myself like a double pat on the back. Well, technically this is a commenter pat on the back, but you know what I mean. So the reason I don't think this will happen is because this would mean that we skip God Valley entirely, right? That would mean that we completely gloss over it, and then King Harald just gets hit with the cold water that his friend Rox is dead, and then we see King Harald either being sad, happy, yada yada. So yeah, I don't know. I just feel like this is the best time to get God Valley. If Oda were to show it, I think this would be it right here. So that is why, I'm putting the ×2 multiplier on this one. And yeah, another reason why I think we won't get this isn't just because I don't think we're going to skip God Valley, but it's also because we have so much buildup left to go, right? We're still 42 years in the past, right? We still have to see a Rox and Roger confrontation. We still have to see Shaki getting kidnapped. So yeah, I think skipping this far ahead would be a little bit insane. And I saw people going even crazier in the comment section saying that we would just stop the flashback entirely, which I think is a little bit absurd. Because we started this flashback with Loki saying, hey, let me tell you about the day King Harald died, the very terrible day I don't want to remember. And it's like, wait, we can't just end the flashback like this, right? At this point, Oda's really just giving us everything. So I don't think we're going to go back to current time. I think we're just going to keep on chugging along with this flashback. I do like certain suggestions, though, where they say that, oh, maybe we get like half flashback and half current day. I think that is plausible, but maybe not right now. And now, for the last comment that I picked out, they said that Harald loses his horns. Yes, that is right. Another canon event. We will see this 1000%, but will it be next chapter? That's always the hard part with these, right? Just because it's canon doesn't mean it's going to happen next week. I personally have put Harald losing his horns at least 3 times on the bingo sheet, and it has not happened yet. Eventually, we're going to get that W. So here you have it, Harald losing his horns. This could be because he maybe failed at capturing Gorosei Xebec, so he ripped out his horns to show sincerity, to apologize. I'm not too sure. From what we heard of, he did this to, make it seem like he's not an evil giant, but kind of like how he shaved his head last chapter, he kind of just looks more menacing, right? Like, it's one thing that he's bald and has the horns. It's another thing when he's bald and has massive scars on his head, like the freaking torturer out of Naruto. Like, no, you just look scary, brother. I don't know what to tell you. But yes, that is it for this week. Oh, yeah, wait. I gotta go through and add percentages. That is right. Let me add those percentages in right now, actually. Let me merge all these layers. Boom. I'm not the best with Photoshop, so forgive me. Okay, so here we go. Adding in percentages now. Let me put this in blue. Yeah, we'll do blue. So, King Harald agreeing to the Gorosei. I think this is like a slam dunk. But it is 50-50, right? He could say yes, he could say no. I do lean towards yes, so I'm going to put this at 70%. Next up, new Gorosei. I think this is very low. I think that this could have just been like a weird panel. But like I said, I like the theory. So 10%, I'll give it that. Shaki getting kidnapped, I'm very confident in that. There's no way we don't see this next chapter. 90%. New God Knight, I'll put this right alongside Shaki. Because, dude, who other than a God Knight could capture her? 90%. Next up, Legendary Devil Fruit Mention. I'll give this one 30%. Mainly because I don't know how we'd spark this conversation. Maybe when Harald and Rox clash, Rox whips out some dialogue like, hey, Harald, if you're going to betray me like this, at least give me something as a parting gift, like that legendary devil fruit. Maybe that's it, but I think I'm kind of reaching for the trees on that one. Roger reacting to anything Rox related. I'll put this at 95%. You know, last chapter, we got a couple of reactions from random people, right? We had the Garp and Goku Sudo panel. We had the whole thing where they talked about Garp even while in Ida's bar. I think Roger dropping a one-liner about Rox is pretty high. As far as the Rox and Roger clash, this could happen, but I feel like Oda might just tease us. I think he'll tease us and wait till God Valley. So I'm going to go a little bit lower on this one. Let's go with 50%. I'd give this 50%. King Harald reacting to Rox's death, meaning that we get a huge time jump. Like I said, not super high on this one. I'd give this 5%. Let's go 10%. Same with the new Gorosei theory, right? I think just jumping this far ahead is kind of crazy. And if we do jump that far ahead, then that means we'll get like a God Valley POV from a different character. Like maybe Garp gives it to us with the whole Blackbeard thing. But at this point, it's like, nah, dude, I feel like Oda's going to give us all a God Valley. Maybe I'll hold a poll on that. You know, over on the main channel, I've been holding a lot of polls recently. Maybe I'll hold a poll to see how many people think that we'll get God Valley in this flashback, or if Oda will save it for later. I might throw that up right after this video, actually. So now, for the last one, Harald losing his horns. I mean, he lost his hair in the span of one chapter. This is good. Yeah, this is a good one. I'll give this like I'll give this 70%. Yeah, I'll give this 70%. This could totally just be off screen. He just shows back up. It's like, hey, Harald, who did that to you? And he's like, oh, actually, I did this myself earlier. Yeah, I could see that. Well, with that being said, though, guys, those are my predictions for 1158. Let me know yours down below. And I'll see you guys when the spoilers drop. Because like I said, that is right around the freaking corner. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. You know, I'm just kind of getting back in the saddle here. I love talking about One Piece, man. You know, people are like, Sai, why are you making these videos? Well, I just like talking about One Piece, brother. It's honestly as simple as that. But thank you guys for being here. Thank you for watching the video till the very end. And I'll catch you guys in a few days. Peace out, brother.